I cannot see into the future. The Greek deity Prometheus tells the tale of a titan who could see into the future, and still chose to march towards his demise without hesitation. Prometheus was a hero to humanity, and for that he was punished by the gods, chained to a mountain for eternity. Every day he was visited by an eagle who tore out his liver, only for it to regenerate each night. If you knew that you were destined to suffer, at what cost would you change your own fate? In my 15 years of playing Minecraft, I've attempted multiple difficult challenges, but none more so challenging than beating the game without taking any damage. Not once. The challenge is completed by loading into a new world and slaying the Ender Dragon. If I was going to beat this challenge, I'd need to come up with contingency plans for everything and anything that could and would inevitably go wrong. Otherwise, I'd just be throwing my head at the wall and suffering for no good reason, hoping I eventually got lucky. But I don't need luck's favor, and I certainly don't want it. Part 1. The Overworld. Spawning into a randomly generated world causes all of these runs to vary to some degree, however there will still be task overlap in nearly every attempt. In order to beat the game, I'll need to enter the Nether and acquire blaze rods to access the end portal. However, it isn't as simple as finding a lava pool. To ensure I have the highest likelihood of not taking damage, I'll need to scour the overworld to collect a few items. As soon as I spawn in, I need to get wool and make myself a bed. It only takes one enemy to completely bring my run to an end, so I need a way to skip the night before anything can spawn. In my 8th attempt, a skeleton spawned in this roofed forest before the day had even ended, showing just how dangerous even one mob can be. While collecting wool to make a bed, I'll be searching for structures to gather items, specifically villages and ruined portals. Shipwrecks are also helpful as they often provide iron and gold, which are useful throughout the entire early game and the whole run. Villages are a necessity as I can trade with the Fletcher using sticks from wood to get emeralds. I can use these to attain arrows and a bow, ensuring I can fight enemies from a safe distance. Not to mention the iron golem that will always spawn can drop anywhere from 3 to 5 iron ingots. Taking close range fights increased my likelihood of dying. I needed to take these runs slowly and use the 3 stacks of arrows I spend my time trading for. Ruined portals have a chance of providing some very valuable items such as iron nuggets to help me acquire a bucket, a shield, or an iron tool. More importantly, they can give me gold pieces of armor which causes piglins to not attack me, and very rarely I could find an enchanted golden apple. While the absorption and resistance don't make a difference, the fire resistance it provides can trivialize entire sections of the Nether. However, not all structures are equal and worth going to. A few notable structures to completely avoid are jungle temples, ocean ruins, ocean monuments, and trial chambers. Lastly, the pillager outpost. These things spawn so many pillagers, which are easy to manage if you have a shield. The issue is when one has an enchanted crossbow. One of the enchants a crossbow can randomly roll is piercing, which allows it to go through mobs, including shields. The loot you get in an outpost doesn't justify taking this risk. On my 7th attempt, I decided to get greedy regardless. Let's take a quick look at our checklist. We need a bed to skip the night, a piece of gold armor to keep piglins on our good side, a shield which is vital for our safety, a bucket to make our nether portal and to save me from fall damage in the overworld, iron tools which are extremely efficient, and a carved pumpkin. I'll explain that last one later. Lastly, we need food and building blocks. While both are accessible in the nether, I'd much rather collect them in a safer environment. Fire from flint and steel or a lava bucket can be used to instantly cook food from animals, as I don't need to wait for a furnace or a smoker. In my 4th attempt, I managed to light myself on fire while trying to get steak from this cow. Karma, I guess? A fast and easy way to collect blocks is by shearing the leaves off trees. While leaves are very flammable and risky to use, it's nice to have a multitude of blocks at your disposal for bridging over lava lakes or closing large gaps. It's a pain having to continuously mine cobblestone in the overworld. TNT can actually play a crucial role here as it can quickly provide a few stacks of blocks. Even with all of these materials, look how easy it is to take damage. My 3rd attempt was lost to inattentive movement. I was just going too quick. With every item I need collected, I can search for a lava pool and construct a portal using the bucket I'd acquired. With a portal built, a shield and bow in my hand, a pumpkin on my head, and a piece of gold armor equipped, I can finally enter the next section of the game. This is where the run really starts to pick up heat. Literally. The most dangerous thing in the overworld is your own impatience, whereas this burning wasteland actually poses a threat to you even when you're focused and making overall good decisions. This is where most of my runs went to die. Part 2. The Nether. While there's a much smaller checklist for items here, the terrain is much more dangerous and the enemies are always present. We can turn one of the 5 nether biomes, the warp forest, into a safe haven by equipping a pumpkin on our head, as endermen won't become aggressive while you're wearing one. As long as you don't hit them. Do not hit them. In the blue forest, there's an item called the warped fungus that's nice to have in hand. Placing these down will cause another hostile mob of the nether, the hoglin, to run away in fear. Are you starting to notice a trend? The way to beat this challenge is slowly traversing the game, collecting more and more items in order to safely make your way through. You can shield yourself by gathering gold in the overworld to protect from piglins, and a pumpkin to stay safe from endermen. With 3 threats handled, magma cubes, gas, and skeletons are still very threatening. We can avoid skeletons entirely by staying out of the Soul Sand Valley, and gas are manageable with a bow and a shred of awareness. Magma cubes aren't too dangerous, but the biome they reside in makes them much harder to deal with. As long as I stuck to the Crimson and Warped Forest biomes, my nether travels will be relatively safe. Things only tend to go wrong once I enter the Nether Wastes, Basalt Deltas, or the SSV. In my 6th attempt I was actually managing to traverse the latter pretty well, until I failed to remember that you can't place blocks on the edge of soul sand while crouched. You're already a pixel of a block down, so it doesn't let you place the block unless you jump. However, my very second attempt displays how my encounters in this biome usually turn out. This biome is partly so dangerous because of how much of a rush I'm in to leave it. This dimension's terrain is very unforgiving and one misstep is all it takes to end a run. Just like here in attempt 9, where I got careless with my movement. Keep in mind that most of these runs that make it to the nether are already over an hour long, and I get quite impatient. While searching for a fortress, I'd often run into a bastion, which I would immediately turn away from. Piglin brutes will attack you regardless of if you're wearing gold armor or not, and they have too much health to safely kill them without using a lava bucket. Placing lava on them requires you to get way closer than I am willing to get. However, entering a fortress without fire resistance was almost just as risky, leading me to mine nether gold and trade with stray piglins. Most of the time I wouldn't get the fire resistance I was looking for, and eventually just sent my run to an early end. I was essentially staring down 2 paths, and neither was favorable for me. On my first attempt, I made it through the overworld and to the nether, but without fire resistance and a fortress placed inside of Soul Sand Valley, this run inevitably died. Because so few mobs spawn inside of this biome, it causes many more of them to spawn inside the fortress itself, including skeletons and blazes. In my 5th attempt, I actually managed to get 2 fire resistant potions and find another fortress in a Crimson Forest. This was basically the best case scenario. I drank 1 fire resistance potion as I entered the fortress, and it ran out before I could find either blaze spawner. Once I found a stray blaze, I splashed my last potion thinking it was from a spawner, not knowing that both were on the other side of the fort. I eventually found them, but with no resistance left, and my patience thinning, I died immediately. A challenge like this spanning over multiple hours continued to test my persistence. After finally killing enough blazes, you'll return to the overworld with the blaze rods you collected and start heading towards the stronghold. But wait, I'd need ender pearls. Normally, speedrunners would get them from trading at a bastion, however, I'm not willing to risk that. Instead, I opt to return to the village and trade with a cleric using the emeralds I get from a Fletcher by tearing all of their houses down for sticks. A cleric has a chance to give you ender pearls like you want, or a chance to waste 30 real minutes of your life. After trading for the pearls, you can craft Eyes of Ender, locate the stronghold, enter the end, and fight the dragon. But to understand how I'd do that, we'd need to return to the very beginning. This is my 10th attempt of the No Damage Challenge. Part 3. The End. I spawned into a desert surrounded by a coral reef, a pillager outpost, and a mesa biome. Alright, let's see if you've been paying attention. Which of these 3 am I running towards? From what we've already learned, we know that the outposts are dangerous and not worth going towards, but what about the ocean? A quick search can tell us there's no shipwreck. With those 2 options eliminated, I decided to go get wood from the mesa. And boom, there it is. A village and a desert temple. Temples provide TNT, which is very helpful for gathering blocks quickly, and a village is necessary. After collecting wood, I know exactly where I'm headed. Upon looting this specific desert temple, a purple glow catches my eye. This book has Looting 2, an enchantment which will trivialize and speed up our fortress tremendously. While normally blazes have a 50% chance to drop a rod, this will increase our chances dramatically and allow us to leave much sooner. As I enter the village, I kill the iron golem, craft a shield, bucket, and boat for safety, create a fletching table to begin trading for my bow and arrows, and head into this large cave to begin collecting iron. Using an anvil, I'd be able to enchant a weapon with looting. This is the run. No, that's literally why I named my sword. I enter the Nether at a lightning fast pace of 34 minutes and realize I'm in the sky. There's no real way to get down without being able to get back up again. I could boat all the way down, but I wouldn't be able to return without mining a bunch of blocks in the open. I need blocks, and I have the perfect answer. The TNT I got from the desert temple will help me get more than enough for Nether travel. I immediately find the fortress, and without wasting any time trading with piglins, I run in with unbridled confidence. After collecting 8 blaze rods and nearly dying, I begin to trade gold with piglins to see if I can get any additional ender pearls before leaving the Nether. I return to the overworld and eventually find a new village which has a cleric. I then proceed to spend the next hour of my life mining wood, crafting sticks, and trading, because the first cleric I maxed out didn't give me ender pearls. I murdered him in cold blood, and nearly got killed by an iron golem. No, not that one. That one! Anyways, I eventually got my ender pearls and began heading towards the stronghold. This is the last dangerous part of the run. Once I can safely traverse the mob-infested dungeon, the dragon awaits me. My heart is pounding, beating out of my chest. After all this time, could I really beat the game without taking damage on my 10th attempt? At this very moment, I didn't know. I'd spent so long sinking all of my focus into this run. I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. As I make my way through the stronghold, this silverfish nearly brings an end to my run. But I hang on one last time. This is it. The Ender Dragon awaits me on the other side. With my pumpkin on my head, and my heart rate rapidly climbing, I fill the portal frame and step foot inside. As I slay the dragon, a hollow emptiness sinks in my chest. I don't think that I deserve this. Back in the Nether Fortress, this Blaze's fireball damaged my armor's durability. I didn't even notice until I started editing. Did you? Even though I wasn't set on fire, and I didn't die, it feels like I should have. I simply got lucky. And I told you, I do not want luck's favor. Didn't you remember? How could I be proud of this fraudulent victory when it didn't even feel earned? I couldn't be proud of this winning run. All this time and effort sunk into this challenge. Is this really where it ends? Greek deity Prometheus could see into the future. Even though he knew his fate before it happened, he still marched towards his demise without hesitation. I may not be able to see the future, but I sure as hell know I won't be able to look back upon this challenge or this video fondly if I don't set the record straight. So let me tell you about my 11th and final attempt of the no damage challenge. Part 4. Destiny. I spawned into a plains village and immediately began mining wood. In every other run, I chose to get my emeralds to trade for pearls after leaving the Nether. This is because I didn't want to waste time in the overworld for ender pearls if I ended up dying before even getting the blaze rods. The difference is that this time, I wasn't going to die at all, so I'll save myself time later on by trading now. I've been editing this video for hours every day, and I have confidence in the strategies I've talked extensively about. While I may be the creator of this video, I too am an avid viewer, sponging my own spoken knowledge and learning from every prior failed attempt. This was a golden opportunity in disguise, allowing me to show you that in a single attempt, I could beat this challenge utilizing my own tried and true tactics. I am not the same person who falsely completed this challenge months ago. I am chock full of drive, confidence, and passion. I used the diamonds from this blacksmith to create an axe and proceed to rip every single strip of bark from every house in this village. The amount of sticks I sold between these two Fletchers would inflate the economy sky high. I refuse to enter the scorching alternate dimension until I see this very cleric offering me the pearls I desire. This once sprawling village has been stripped bare of every single log and even multiple wooden planks in order to fuel my monopoly that I use to purchase pearls, arrows, and my bow. I find a hidden lava pool, create a portal, and enter the dimension I once feared, with nothing but a shield and a pumpkin. Who do I think I am? I burrow into a wall and mine gold, creating a pair of boots for myself to keep the piglins of the Crimson Forest on my good side. I only have 2 spare bars of gold. What are the chances of getting any fire resistance? There's a 1 in 57 chance. And that's exactly what I get. I locate the fortress and use my single fire resistant potion to obtain 6 or 7 blaze rods. This time I didn't take any damage, and just like that I can see the light at the end of the dark tunnel I once treaded lightly. I am sprinting towards the end. I finish trading for ender pearls and use my eyes of ender to locate the stronghold. Digging down an entire snowy mountain from the zenith of the world.
A few moments later. 2,000 years later.
My eye catches stone brick, and as I enter, it's quiet. Too quiet. No skeletons rattling. No zombies groaning. No spiders hissing. A stark parallel to the stronghold I navigated in my 10th attempt. Keep your voice down. It can hear you. The walls, floors, and even the ceilings are lined with creeping blue vines, and my heart sinks as I realize I'm in the mouth of the abyss. This stronghold was infested by the deep dark, covered in skulk. If I took too long to locate the portal room, or made too much noise, I wouldn't be dealing with regular mobs. I'd have the warden personally ending my run. The Greek deity Prometheus could see into the future. Despite the perpetual agony Prometheus went through, he never once regretted his decision to steal fire for humanity. Not once did he waver or regret rebelling against the gods, no matter how much time had passed. I cannot see into the future, because I am not Prometheus. I think that even if I could see into the future, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm not Prometheus. I'm not a deity. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a Twitch streamer. I'm not a character on the screen. I am not Mallory. No. For these next fleeting moments, I am maloryna. I am not the worst Minecraft player. And this is how I beat Minecraft without taking any damage